If you'd like to sponsor that game, give us a call at 773-527-2961 or email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. Hey now, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Still Got Game, episode 550. Still Got Game is the official podcast of tooltoplay.com. I am, as always, Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
And I am Selden.
Just Selden. It's like
Just
Cher.
Selden. That's it. No, this is Chris Selden, 007 Selden coming at you.
And I am Brian Shadow Emmerich.
And we are back. And for those of you keeping track on your Tool to Play podcast viewers, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Twitch, whether it's whatever, there was a show yesterday as well. Tiff and I did a quick PAX East recap since it was well overdue, and we had some holidays in there, and we were on vacation for a couple weeks, and so that posted. It's on the internets today, and now we're doing another show 2 days in a row. So
was it 549? Did you keep the number?
Yes, yeah, that was 549. Yes, yeah.
He
I feel like I
us.
ripped off then because I didn't have a chance to do 549.
It was 550 is better. It's a nice even number.
It's halfway
50,
to 600 to our special celebration episode. So yes.
Oh,
right.
I thought this was the last show ever. I'm sorry.
No.
When we bring back Duty and Hit and
Code Monkey and
Monkey.
Yeah, there's little boxes all over the screen.
They're all going to be there.
Yes, yep.
You guys just wait in 3 years.
Hey, we're actually making pretty good pace here. So
yeah, we did.
With the exception of the last couple weeks, but yeah. So,
yeah.
Tiff and I were gone because there was Memorial Day, which we were going to do a show on, which is not a normal thing. We don't usually do a show on holidays, but I was fucked from jet lag, and it was not doable. So, Selden, you alive over there? I see you coughing away.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Good. Yeah, we'd hate to have you die on air.
Well, surprisingly,
it would actually help ratings, but
it would be interesting. Yeah.
It was all the laughing I had pre-show from all my wonderful jokes. So.
Yes, yeah. You'll hear those in the after show. Don't worry, folks. All right, so why don't we just jump right in the show proper, and we'll start off the same way as always with unlike yesterday with the mailbag for feedback and questions from our last episode. Not technically 549, but 548. And if you're in chat right now and you want to, leave us a message, drop it in there, and we'll try to work it in the show. Let's see. CP30No asks, is there anything you are even excited about coming out in the near future? I keep looking at upcoming release lists, and to be honest, there isn't much there.
Well, first off, I think his name is C3P. Oh no!
And the dad jokes don't end. No,
that is his name on there.
I guess it technically is.
And how can you dare say that? College football 2026 is coming out in a couple of weeks. It's gonna be awesome.
Who even knew?
Totally looking forward to that game.
Is that a thing?
Oh, did you know that was coming out, Shadow?
It may be the game that
finally
pulls me away from the only game I've been playing for the last month.
Oh. So
yes, I'm looking forward to college football coming out. So
yes,
it's come back, first time coming, the second edition after the comeback. How's that? That's what I'm trying to say. So let's see what kind of improvements that they drop with college football. See what kind of ads they put in that people have been asking for the next season of the college football game. So I'm looking forward to it.
He means additions, not advertisements, right?
Yes, that's exactly
additions.
Well, he's a resident footballer, and that is American football, not football like the rest of the world.
Yes, No. The rest of the world is wrong. Yes. All right.
Do you have anything that you want to?
Oh, I don't. There's nothing I want to play. No.
Nothing coming up.
Not that I can think of. Is there something I should be thinking of?
Borderlands 4. Any care about that?
Yeah, I guess I played all the Borderlands, so I probably should play Borderlands.
You'll probably play
4.
it. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, all the Switch stuff that's coming out, we'll talk about. So there's some of that stuff that I want to play. Metroid Prime 4 will probably be up before Christmas. I'm banking on, and that's, for the original Switch, so I can talk about that because that's not Switch 2. I mean, it is Switch 2, but So those two, but otherwise, there's not a whole lot that are, that's coming up. I mean, there's things that are kind of hanging out there going, well, maybe we'll hear about a date at not E3, but SGF.
Summer Games Fest.
Yeah, or something, which I think we will. There's got to be Christmas stuff coming out, stuff in November, so
you would think
we just don't know about it yet. But people are kind of holding on. I think they were holding on to their release dates because of GTA 6, which now isn't coming out till next Memorial Day. So
you don't have to hold on to it anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, so those dates will be coming out soon, and then there's a lot of stuff just kind of sitting there. Like, I mean, there's a long list of things that we know are coming, but we don't know when they're coming. So
that's true too. Yeah.
You think like near future? I don't know if it's near or not. I guess we'll see. But yeah, it's kind of slim right now.
Yeah, Tiff and mine's favorite game, unfortunately, it's only on PlayStation, is Death Stranding 2 is coming out at the end of the month. So
there you go.
This is true. Yes.
I can't believe they're not putting it on PC also.
You're sure it's not PC?
I think it's PC. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe a couple weeks after that.
Sony usually lags the PC release by a bit, so maybe that's
the case. But it doesn't. It just says PS5 right now. Yeah. I think that I think they're slowing that a little bit because for a while there they didn't put stuff on PC, and then they started to put everything on PC, and then people went, well, why do they have a PS5 then? What's the point? And then they kind of slowed that back down a little bit, but for their really exclusive stuff. But we'll see eventually. But yeah, it just says PS5 right now. Yeah. That one, I mean, System Shock 2 remaster coming out soon. Firebreak's coming out soon, which I do want to play Firebreak. That's getting great reviews, and I love Remedy, so I'm gonna check that out. I for some reason I thought that was going to be a Game Pass game. I don't know why, but it's not. But it's only $40, so it's not too bad.
We can't forget Tony Hawk remake of 4 and 5 is coming out in July, I think, right?
I played the 1 and 2 remake, and that was pretty good. I didn't play the 3, so
I have never played a Tony Hawk game in my life.
What the fuck?
Oh my god, I'm done. I quit. I can't be on this show anymore with him.
I'm not a skateboard
real
guy.
Life? No, you don't have to be a skateboard guy. I was a skateboard guy, but you don't have to be to play Tony Hawk games.
Oh, I know, because so many people played it, and they weren't skateboarders. But yeah, I just was never interested. That and like X game stuff and all that, I just never really played that stuff. But I know it's popular and it looks like it could be fun. People love it, so
I'm not stuck. This is just a face I'm making.
I go back to what was it, Town and Country Surf and Skate back on, what was that? Was that on the Nintendo, the original?
Mm-hmm.
That game was a fucking
Skate or Die
killer.
Or
Skate or Die.
ESPN Extreme Games on the first PlayStation.
Yeah. No, I never played any of that stuff.
All right, how about I think it's more fall, so it's not really coming out soon, but Marathon's coming out in September-ish, maybe?
Yeah.
So that I have a bad feeling about that.
I do too.
Because it's online only, so it's just you can only play with people online. There's no story. The original one it was just solo, I think, mostly.
Yes, yeah.
Or just solo completely. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that people other than Call of Duty, which now do they have a campaign again?
Oh yeah,
or no?
Yeah. There's campaign.
Yeah. Okay, because for a little bit there they didn't, right? Or they thought they
always
removed
had a campaign.
No. Okay, I thought they were talking about removing.
Their big releases had the campaign, but they've been kind of shitted together. Then they throw Warzone and stuff like that in off cycles and stuff like that. So
I think that online only games. I mean, there are certain ones that do really well, but everything else just kind of falls away because people want to play the stuff they already know. And I don't think anybody cares enough about Marathon to really put a lot of time into it. So it is going to be only $40 though, I think.
Oh, that's
I don't think it's like a full
potential.
I don't think it's a full price game. I could be wrong, but I think it's a cheaper game.
But at the same time, people have soured on Bungie over the years, so
but you got to admit, even though I did sour on them just because I just got tired of it, but their shooter game is on point. Like they are the best. I think they're the best shooter company out there for just pure, I don't know, satisfaction of shooting. Halo, obviously still great for a shooter. And yeah, but I mean, Destiny for is the problems I had with it, it was still really, really fun to shoot things. So we'll
Yes.
see.
Yeah, we shall see.
Is it really even Bungie anymore, though?
I
Yeah, well,
guess.
that's the thing though. Like people buy companies, they buy them for the people that are making the things. Those people are the company. If they leave, then what do you have left? You have a name,
You have the name. Yeah,
but
that's it. Yep.
that's it. So I don't know, man.
Mhm.
But I have a bad feeling about it. I think it's gonna tank.
I think so too.
Yep.
All right. Next up, Charisma Devil asks, what are your thoughts on the success of Microsoft's multi-platform strategy? Forza alone sold more than 837,000 copies on PlayStation in April. That's
I mean,
fucked
it's
up.
obviously working for them.
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant on their part.
Yeah.
Although it's gonna really put a it's really gonna mess up the whole like fanboy thing. Not that that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's just like, well, you can play all of our stuff on all the other systems, so what's the point in caring about Xbox?
Yeah. And now it's a
You
new
know?
fanboy thing. Are you a Gran Turismo fanboy or a Forza fanboy? So,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's true.
Yeah, I mean those
Um,
are huge numbers. I mean, for a title that's multiple years old at this point,
Mhm.
and to drop almost 1 million sold copies just in a month on a competitor's platform, I think Microsoft is definitely winning on this multi-platform strategy that they're going at.
Yep.
yeah,
And I think they're doing well with it. And it's, I think that combined with their Game Pass structure is really putting them in a league of their own. And they're just blowing everything away right now in those sort of situations. But it's funny because the former PlayStation exec came out the other day and said that he doesn't believe in Microsoft's strategy of multi-platform gaming and cloud-based rental service streaming type systems. He's like, I think that PlayStation's obviously got the better format for the developers and the fans. I'm like, no, you're just a shareholder and you're trying to pump the stock up, you
Yeah.
douchebag. I'm like, you guys
Yeah.
are losing the battle in the trenches right now. You may be winning the war, but you're losing it in the trenches right now. So
Well, you got to figure 837,000 copies at $60 a copy is a decent chunk of change for a game that already existed and maybe took like a small target team to port to PlayStation.
hmm
Like
It's a
it's
month and it's like free money.
yeah, exactly. Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, that's a huge number. I was shocked to see that was the April numbers. So yeah,
It's funny though, because it makes you think that, well, then why aren't all these people just, why didn't they just buy a Xbox if they cared this much about these games that they're like so wanting to play them? Why don't you
yeah,
just buy the other system? But
yeah.
that might be the fanboy mentality. I'm a PlayStation gamer. I don't want to play any other system. I don't play any other controller. Oh, this is on my system now. I'll play it.
Yeah,
So it's nothing to do with
it's
the games.
fucking
It's
weird.
just like a
Yes, yeah.
whole like I won't buy the other thing.
Yep. Yeah,
So
that's why I buy all the things. So, yeah.
yeah, that's true.
All right.
So right
Yep.
now, PlayStation and Nintendo are pretty much going to be the only two that have a only for PlayStation or only for Nintendo.
Yes.
But Xbox, everything's going to be multi-plat. So
Yeah. And they'll glean that sweet, sweet cross-platform money. Yep.
yeah, they'll just sit there and go, I don't care. I'm making money, so whatever, man.
Hand over
You're
fist. Yep.
you're betraying your fans. I'm
Yeah.
making money,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Money
oh
makes
well.
that pain softer. Yep. You can sleep in that bed of money every night. It's gonna cushion wherever you got hurt. So
I mean, people complain about exclusives and then they complain about when they're not exclusive.
yeah,
So
that's true.
people are
Yeah.
going to complain either way. Like,
Yep.
oh, exclusive, that's not fair. I can't play it on the other systems. Now it's I can play it on their systems. They can play my games? No, you can't do that. Like, come on, man. Pick a
Damned if you
lane.
do, damned if you don't. So
Yeah.
all right, and last up, Altius asks, was there no PAX East episode this year? Besides your old E3 coverage ones, it's one of my favorites. Well, Altius, it popped today. We recorded it yesterday. You could have watched live yesterday. You could have seen it on Facebook or on Twitch yesterday. You could have watched the uncut version on YouTube yesterday. So obviously you weren't paying attention, although this question did come in before we recorded yesterday. So, in all fairness to Altius,
you recorded it.
In all fairness to Altius, there was no episode at the time you submitted your question. So,
you're both right.
Yeah. But it's there now, and it's ready.
If it helps, Altius, we weren't invited. He didn't let us co-host in.
No,
I figured
we
you guys
asked. He was like, "No."
We didn't know what time we were recording. We didn't know what day we were recording. It was either going to be Saturday or Sunday, and we recorded Sunday at like 11:17 a.m. So Eastern.
I was driving back from St. Louis, so I could not have been there.
See, and Selden was probably camping. 11:17.
That's true. Yeah,
throwing discs in the woods at trees. So.
Well, it's one thing.
They're like, what's that guy doing over there? He just keeps whipping floppy disks at trees.
Has the same effect.
So
real quick, for those that didn't watch the show, any real quick top highlights that you want to tease to make people go back and watch the PAX East show?
Like one of the major things that we saw is a game that's a new release this week, so we'll talk about that in a little bit. And we got sucked in that. We bought it because of what we saw at E3 or at PAX East, and there were a couple other indie games. The show has been going the same way it's been going for a while, and I said it during that episode as well as Tiff did during 549. If you want to go to PAX East, I would go sooner than later before it's gone. We've talked about in the past that the big three have kind of fallen off. Nintendo's still there, but they just do weird shit. And most of the other publishers are the major publishers. Like you no longer see Riot Games there, you no longer see Bethesda, which now is part of Microsoft. So if you want to get that PAX East experience, even now that it's watered down a bit, this is the time to go. So if you're going to go in 2026 before something happens. So that's all I have to say. But yeah, listen to 549, watch 549. It's not a long episode, not even an after show. So yeah, just go watch and enjoy. All right. Well, if any of you have questions and feedback like these folks, give us a call, 773-527-2961, or email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. And on that, why don't we hop on over into what we're playing? Selden, what have you been playing this week?
Dude, I still have not got out of Blueprints. I am so stuck in that stupid game. It's not even a stupid game. It's a great game. I love it. It's just there's so much to do and so many mysteries to do, and it's like a fucking onion. As you peel more layers, there's more layers underneath. It's awesome.
Okay, Shrek.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like there's nothing else. I've tried popping a couple other games on to play, and it just I keep like I gotta keep following up on this puzzle. Got to get this puzzle done. So I keep jumping back into Blueprints. I think I'm well over day 100 in the game, and I'm probably over 100 hours into the game. So,
holy shit!
So
I'm investing an hour for each day. Wow.
Some of my days run long. I got days that I can run 200-300 steps easily.
Wow.
And just trying to figure out some of the other puzzles and stuff because I'm trying not to cheat, man. And I'm keeping my digital notebook like my little notepad. I'm doing it all on my phone, taking pictures of the TV screen, going back and comparing little things to this and that. And it's it's like it's the same feeling I had when I first played Myst.
Oh, like, okay. Yes. Yeah.
Like, that type of game where it's just like there's a mystery upon a mystery upon a mystery upon a mystery, and it's just like it's that thrill of solving those puzzles, picking out those little tiny fucking things, and going, "Oh my god, this happened like 17 days ago in the game." So I'm like,
yeah, I bet the people who made it loved Myst. I mean, it's very Myst-like, I would say. I played a little bit of that. I stopped playing that because it just got to be a point where I went, okay, well, I got pretty far into this one area that I had never been in before, and I was like way down deep into this like well area, and then I realized I'm down here. I got all the way here, but I can't do anything because all the stuff I had to do things down here are in rooms that I don't have and that I'm not gonna be able to get back to do, and then it's just gonna all start over again. And I kind of got burned out of just like it resets every day, and everything I've done is gone. I mean, there's a couple things that stay, but otherwise everything's gone. It's like, okay, it got stressful for me, and I went, I gotta step back from this. But it's a cool game. But yeah, I was only like 25 days, maybe something like that. And yeah, it's tough,
Seldom
man.
puts you
And
to shame.
I also tried not to, I didn't like cheat. I looked up like one or two things because I was trying to figure out how something worked. But otherwise, it's a lot of just RNG. You gotta like,
Yeah,
if you get a room, you get a room. And if you don't, you're screwed for that day. And because you need like a specific room to turn on the power to everything, for instance, or to turn on a
yeah.
pump to turn on the power, you need to have the pool so that you can get a pump to pump water somewhere to pump water out of this well or whatever. It's
Yeah,
if you didn't get all those things, you're screwed.
yeah.
So,
There is some tricks to playing the RNG against itself. There's certain rooms that only spawn in certain areas or certain sides of the house, and only off of
yeah,
certain rooms. You just got to start to learn those metrics as you go through the game and stuff like that. So
yeah.
it's a lot of fun. I have a
Seldom is
I
our
blast.
did end up
expert.
finding I found a lever one time to open one of the doors of the the
Antechamber,
end antechamber, but and then once I got up there, I could not get a room that would
open
give
up
me
to it.
entrance to that door, and so I just had to start over again. So it's a cool game, but I need to take a break. But I will go back to it, I think. I played for 25 days, in-game days. I have not one achievement in that yet.
Yeah,
Wow.
It's insane.
it takes a long time to get that first achievement to pop.
Yeah.
So
It's like so anyway, cool.
That's the real reason why Shadow isn't playing. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
It's all the
it's t
achievements.
it is kind of like, well, no one will ever know that I played this game. I
he's
played it for
got
25
hours but
days so
no
far,
achievements.
and no one knows I played it. All right. I mean, I
The
know I
audience
played it,
knows you
but
did, so
yeah, that's
that's all that
true.
matters.
This is the proof. That's all you played, Selden?
That's pretty much all I played. So
Cool. Kind of should I go next?
yeah,
Oh,
go for it.
All
absolutely.
right.
Yeah, Selden forgot
So
to feed into you. Yes,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
sorry. I thought that question was a leading question. I thought we were going
that's
to
all
take it.
right. That's all right. So I've been playing mostly Clair Obscur, which I remember back like 3, 4 months ago or so when we were saying upcoming games, and I mentioned this game, and I mixed it up with another one that was it was some numbered game. And I go, I think this is gonna be good. It looks good. And you guys were like, I've never heard of this before. And I was like, well, I have a good feeling about this one. And now it's got like 95s everywhere from everybody. It is so good. It's just, I don't know. You get sucked in and it's just great. There's 3 acts. I'm late in the third act, but at that point, it's an RPG and it's an active battle RPG where it's sort of like old Final Fantasy where you see a monster, but it's more like Chrono Trigger where you can like go into the monster or not. You can go around them, but if you go into them, then you can either hit them so that you start first, or it's just random if you just run into them, and then it sets you up. Then you just take turns back and forth. But when they hit you, you can block, you can parry, and if you parry, you can hit them back, and so it's kind of like the Mario RPG type thing where you can block and parry and do things like that to get extra points or extra damage. And in the end, you kind of have to do that. You have to get good at that. And it's a timing thing. And there are certain things you can turn on for if you for what do you call it? Accessibility. So like if you have issues with things like that or with certain things you can change to make it a little easier if you have problems like just mobility problems or whatever to do that sort of thing. But otherwise, man, it's fun. It's fun to battle. The story is really good. Um, the the only issue I have mainly with it is that there is no map at all. So if you get into an area, you can get lost pretty easily unless you kind of know where you're going. And eventually you go to places enough where you kind of figure out where you're going and you can remember it. But if you're on the world map, it's just, well, I mean, there's an overmap that you can see the entire world, but you can't fast travel. So that's another thing. So you just have to like fly to wherever you're going, and it can take a good minute to fly across the whole map because it's pretty big. But besides that, man, it's really good. And the difficulties you can change on the fly. If you just want to play the story and make it kind of easier, you can just knock it down to that. You can have it really, really hard. and doesn't affect achievements, which is nice. So if you're into that sort of thing, and yeah, I'm loving it. I'm still playing it, and right now I'm just getting myself up higher and higher to in level. Max level's 99. I'm at like 75 on most of my characters. But other than that, I've been playing Life is Strange Before the Storm, which remaster, which is the sequel to Life is Strange, the original, just because I finished that one and I'm playing through this one just to kind of replay it. Because I like those games. I don't like that you can't skip any cutscenes in those. You can't scoot people along in their dialogue. You just have to like wait for them to finish. And some of the things can be really long. And that's because Don't Nod, I mean, it's an early game of theirs and they just didn't build that in. So nowadays you can usually skip dialogue or you can just read it and just do right through it.
Titles, whatever. Yes,
yeah, it just takes so long. You're like, okay, I just want to get through this scene. But
Yeah,
otherwise,
one
it's
of the
great.
games I did try to play was I did play Doom for about an hour or so, and
Oh yeah.
if they didn't let me skip all the cutscenes, I would have fucking thrown the game away earlier on. The game itself is good, but the cutscenes don't interest me in that game. I want to just blow shit up. I don't care about the story of that game.
I heard Dark Age is really fun.
It was fun. I had a lot of blast doing it, but it didn't hold me for long.
All right. I will play.
So
I'll play that eventually because it's
so
free
Claire
on Game
Obscura,
Pass.
it's not Elden Rings type of difficult because you can change the
No,
difficulty, and so
right.
it's more JRPG type of Final Fantasy type of games, or
Yeah, it's JRPG. You'll go into you'll have like on the map you'll have an overworld map. You run around. You can run into monsters there if you want to, but otherwise there's a bunch of like portals that take you into different like caves and areas, and you just kind of go up to them, hit X, and it takes you into them, and then you're in like a
a
regular
different area.
game. Yeah, you're like you're just running around like in a two scale area because the overworld map it's kind of silly because you're running around and I guess technically you're like huge, running around this map, kind of like the old Final Fantasies. So it's sort of that thing, but yeah, it's you can avoid monsters if you want to. You can run around them. You can go. Some monsters are garden things, and you can kind of run around them, pick up the thing, and run away if you don't want to fight them, which is kind of nice because if you want to kind of save the fighting for later, but get some of the good stuff now to make your character better, that can be useful. There's certain ones you can't skip, but those are just kind of the big bosses. But otherwise, it's really, really forgiving, and it's a fun, active battle system. Like once you start playing it, you go, I want to fight things because once you get good at the parrying and the dodging, you can really do a lot of damage, and it's just fun to see them like you to get revenge back on them immediately and just knock them down. So yeah, it's
Nice.
fun.
I'm not a big parry and dodge guy in the game.
I'm a
Fucking
hack and
brutal guy,
slash.
or I'm a
Yes.
freaking sniper. I'm like, there's no in between. It's just like,
Yeah, I'm not a dodge and parry guy either. I'm either I'm shooting something or I'm shooting fireballs, one or the other.
I mean, you can get good enough where your character's so powerful you don't have to because you just mow them down. But until then, you kind of have to learn it a little bit. But it's if you go in the lower difficulties, it really kind of gives you a bigger window for that stuff. And once you fight enough monsters, okay, well that monster does this move and that monster does this move, and then it's just they'll swing and right before they hit you, just hit our right bumper and then boom, parry, and then you get points that you can use towards your things that you're casting or your moves you're doing. So yeah,
Sounds fun.
it's good.
Yeah.
I like it. How about you, Derek?
I've done the same thing I do every week. No, granted,
Try to take over the world.
I did miss some days of doing my dailies when we were on vacation, but I came back and I haven't missed a day of dailies yet, and I'm just playing Call of Duty Black Ops 6 in multiplayer. I'm still Prestige 10. Now I'm level 186 into Prestige 10.
Wow.
So working my way through. Yeah,
Still going. Energizer
fucking
Bunny over
love
there.
that game. Yeah, it's fun. So,
Speaking of still going, I'm still at 278 days achievement streak. So
woo.
I'm trying to get to a year if I can. I do have my sister's wedding coming up, but I can bring my laptop with me. So actually, we're
Oh,
not
that's
staying there. I'm
sad.
staying
That
back
is
at home,
so
so I can still
sad.
do it.
don't you have a
We're
backbone or something? You can play Game Pass games. Get those achievements in
I
the
I
hotel real
can.
quick.
Well, I mean, Actually, we'll be staying here because it's really close to our house, so we won't be staying anywhere. But anyway,
Sometimes that's
still
the
doing
fun of a
that.
wedding. Like I've stayed at weddings that are like 30 minutes from our house because
Yeah,
you
but we
go, you
got
have a
the
good.
little kids, and I don't know. It's just getting easier.
Uh,
Yeah.
yes, that's what babysitters are for. But anyway, uh, all right. On that, why don't we move on over to the new releases? First new release out this week is Elden Ring Night Rain, out for the Xbox, the PlayStation, and the PC. So Tiff and I picked this up. Tiff fucked around a little bit with it yesterday while I was editing episode 549. It's not really a single player game. I know they're patching it to improve the single player stuff, but it's really a 3-player game. And it's a nice canned experience where it's like 45 minutes to an hour. One of the demos at PAX East, it was 2 of the devs, and they pulled someone from the audience that knew Elden Ring and that was pretty good at it, and they brought him up, and the 3 of them played, and they hammered through, and the demo was like a good 45 plus minutes, and it looks like a super fun game, which is why we bought it. I look forward to playing it. But
Is it like a boss run thing where you're just kind of getting to a boss, defeating him, and that was it? That's your run.
It's so the game takes place over 3 in-game days, and within those days, you kind of, first off, the whole thing is procedurally generated, and then so you go to different locations on the map to either gain weapons or fight these smaller bosses to build yourself up so you can take on that final boss on day 3, and that's your big end boss that occurs on the last day. So it's like, what you're getting into. You're not in for more than an hour. You can go and you can kind of pick and choose what you want to do on the map, where you want to go, how you want to level up your characters quickly. And then after an hour, it's done, and you can do it all over again, or you can be done. So
this isn't an expansion to the last Elden Ring game. It's a standalone game.
This is a standalone multiplayer game. Yes, ideally 3 players, but you could play it with less, but that's what it's designed for.
Well, I mean, that was the Elden Ring mechanic, is that you could call in 2 other players to help fight bosses and stuff like that within the original game, right?
Yeah, but only at bosses usually, and eventually they would hit a wall and they'd disappear. But this is just like fully co-op.
Yes, fully co-op, the whole thing. Yeah. So
yeah, I've heard it can be fun. It's definitely different battle wise than Elden Ring. I've heard people say it's not like the whole you got to be slow and dodge and do the whole thing. It's more like I just see people just running through and just hitting guys and running by, and it's more active.
Yes, definitely more active than
Elden a lot more enemies, like 10 times more enemies. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got to expect that you got 3 people instead of 1. So
that's true too. Yes. Yeah.
And you can't just wait around for like one guy to dodge and parry and dodge and like one monster. So you gotta have that. Which
you can't bring a Let Me Solo Her in and have him run the whole game for you.
So yeah, I look forward to playing this, but it looks fantastic, and like I said, we pre-ordered it after seeing it at PAX East. So nice. All right, and then the only other new release out this week is the Switch.
Nobody cares.
The Switch 2 comes out on June 5th. And
it does. Actually, June 4th at midnight. Well, June 4th at 11, I mean, here.
No. And here is the quick list of games, and then I'm sure Shadow will want to talk about some of this bullshit. But I'm just going to rattle these off in rapid fire format. Go. Bravely Default Flying Fairy HD Remastered. What the fuck is that? Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition. Deltarune Chapter 1, Deltarune Chapter 2, Deltarune Chapters 3 and 4, Fast Fusion, Fortnite, Hitman World of Assassination Signature Edition, Hogwarts Legacy, Kunitsugami Path of the Goddess, Mario Kart World, Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, Nobunga's Ambition Awakening Complete Edition, Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S, Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma, Sid Meier's Civ 7, Sonic X Shadows Generations, Split Fiction, we've heard of that. Street Fighter 6, we've heard of that. It's not Sudoku, it's
Suikoden or Suikoden. Suikoden or Suikoden.
Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster, Gate Rune, and Dunin Unification Wars. It rolls off the tongue. Survival Kids, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, whichever you want to say it. Yakuza 0 Director's Cut. So that's your entire launch lineup for the Switch 2.
There's only one title people are going to be playing in that. Only one title.
Mario Kart World.
It's not true.
Yeah, that's it.
That's not true.
The rest is garbage. Yes.
Not true.
Okay, 99% of the people are only going to play one title out of that whole group of games.
All right, Shadow, tell us which garbage you bought.
Well, I bought the Mario Kart World bundle, so I got 2 of those coming. 2 bundles coming. But otherwise, my son has played the. He's a big fan of what's it called? Not the Deltarune people. The previous game of that.
I've never heard of Deltarune.
I'm blanking on it, but it's the
Shitbox.
I'm gonna look it up because I can't remember. But I don't know why I can't remember. It's the one that's like Earthbound kind of.
Got nothing.
You got nothing? Come on, you guys. I'm gonna vamp here.
Isn't Fast Fusion one of like the original?
Undertale. Undertale. So it's by the people who did Undertale. It's like the sequel to that kind of. No,
never heard of Undertale.
Really?
So yeah.
All right. It's like a 2D top-down role-playing game that's sort of Earthbound-like, where you can fight a bunch of monsters, but you can also not kill them. You can just like
make out with
be
them.
Nice to them and just kind of like convince them not to hit you and stuff. It's interesting. But I think in Deltarune, I'm not sure exactly what it is compared to Undertale because I've never beat Undertale, but my son loves it. He'll play this, but chapters 1 and 2 were free originally on Switch and other systems, but 3 and 4 hadn't come out forever, and now they're finally coming out, and they're doing a 1 through 4 pack, but this one is $25, I think. So I'll buy that for him, and then I'll have him share that to me someday when I want to play it. Bravely Default Flying Fairy HD Remastered. That is the original Bravely Default from 3DS, but it's on Switch. So it's the Bravely Default from 3DS. It's the one that looks like Final Fantasy VI, but has that cool like tilt shift look to it. It's like 3D against the background of 2D. Yeah,
I'm sure it is.
It's a role-playing game.
Yeah.
So those 2 I'm interested in somewhat. Mario Kart World, obviously. And I already bought the Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster because it was on sale, and I always wanted to play those games, and now they're going to be on this.
It had such a nice name too. So yeah.
I don't know why they're called that. That must be something to do with the games. I've never played the originals, but my roommate in college loved Suikoden 2, and he always told me I should play it. And then it was like insanely expensive for PlayStation 1. Like it was one of the ones that was just you couldn't get it. It was like $150, $200.
Wasn't it like 10 discs or something like that? Yeah.
No, I think it was only like 1 or 2, but it was just really hard to find. I don't know why. I don't think they made that much of them. But I'm glad that they're doing this because it looks great, and it's one of the games I always wanted to play. So the Zelda Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom upgrades are free with the Nintendo Switch Online thing. So I'm going to finish Tears of the Kingdom finally in 4K because I never finished it. So now I'll have my own Switch 2 that I can just keep in the basement and just turn on whenever I want. I don't have to worry about the kids and who has it and whatever. So, but yeah, that's it. I mean, it's probably Bravely Default eventually, Deltarune for my son, Mario Kart, Suikoden, and Tears of the Kingdom. Everything else, I mean, most of this stuff is like a remake or a remaster or something that's on another system that is now just coming out on Switch 2. So this stuff is all just launch stuff, and you give it like 6 months and more things will come out. But yeah, it's kind of slim.
Yep. Slim pickings. Weird name games that no one's heard of.
Yeah, I just got a message from Blue asking me why I was looking at my phone. It's one, I was answering a text, and 2, I was trying to find out what the fuck some of these games are. I'm like, why are the titles so long? What happened to like Pac-Man?
Yeah, these are
okay, Grandpa.
Well,
what happened to
Not my
Pac-Man?
lawn.
I used to play Pong and I was happy with it.
Path of the Goddess. Like, that's a dumbass name.
Pitfall? Pitfall 2! That's it! Not Pitfall 2, The Adventures of Harry as he jumps over alligators trying to avoid crocodiles and snakes.
They had a Pitfall on Super Nintendo. It was like Pitfall, the blah 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 blah. I know they did because my buddy had it. It was like a remake of the first one, but it looked nicer. It was a remaster, but not really.
Nobunga's Ambition Awakening.
Nobunga's Ambition is a game from like Super Nintendo or N64.
These are dumbass names. Dumbass games.
Ambition's an old
dumbass names. Yeah.
It's one of our old games that you just didn't play, but it's from our generation.
Yeah, I would never play
way
that
back.
game.
Yeah. We're probably I'm gonna go at midnight because I got 2 Switches. One's a Best Buy, one's a GameStop. Both of them are doing midnight. Actually 11. So I think
safe areas. You're not gonna get jumped for your Nintendo Switch 2.
No, there's safe areas. I might take my son. I mean he's young, but it's the last day of school the next day, and it'll be fine. So I think we're gonna.
What could go wrong? What could go wrong?
Yeah, he'll be. He
doesn't fall asleep till like, so he can keep the Switch too.
He doesn't fall asleep till like 10 at night anyway, so 11's not that bad. It's more the time that But how often are we gonna have midnight launches moving forward? I mean, when's the PS6?
Never again.
PS6 and Xbox Series blah 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 aren't going to come out for another 5 years probably, and then
they ship them to you on launch day. So
and by that time he's going to be like out of high school, so probably. So he probably won't do that. So like, this will be the one
for the last day of school. They don't do anything on the last day of school normally anyway.
Yeah, they don't. No, and it's his
he's
last
just gonna
day.
Be there screaming.
How he's not like a baby.
No, but that's what happens when you don't get enough sleep. That's what I do.
No, that's what you do. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
No, you should get that looked at, man.
People knock on my office door, and I'm like, "Come on in," and they open it, and I'm like,
No. Yeah, I'm like, well, I'll get it. We'll go, and then he'll come home and go to bed, and then I'll do all the updates and crap and download everything, and then next day he gets home from school, he can play it. So
you're gonna play with his toy before he does.
I'm gonna have mine because we have 2.
Yeah, but you're gonna update.
I have to update it. Those things won't play out of the box.
Dad, how do you know all the secret paths in Mario Kart world already? It's not fair.
Yeah. Have you guys seen the previews to any of the previews for the Switch 2? No, you haven't because you don't care.
We don't give a shit. No, it's a piece of shit. I'm gonna buy one, but I don't care about it at all remotely.
So the way it comes, you can't play Switch 1 games out of the box. You have to do an update from day one. So anyone that has one right now cannot play any games because Switch 2 games they don't have yet. Switch 1 games don't work. So you have to do the update in order to play Switch 1, and also probably have to do an update in order to play any games at all. So
Nintendo already came out and said that they don't have any guarantees on being able to play day one because of all the updates that have to go on. I thought I saw too. So
yeah,
like we don't know what our system's going to do on day one.
People are saying on the boards I'm on, yeah, you need to like buy all the games you're going to buy online right now beforehand, so that the second that you hook it up and it'll start to download them, because you don't know if you're gonna be able to actually buy things day one because it might be all bunked up.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah, that thing sounds like a lot of fun.
Gonna be so much fun, man.
It's not. It's gonna be substandard, but yes,
so much fun.
Yep, substandard fun. All right. On that, why don't we hop on over into gaming news? And if you're in chat right now, you want to drop something in the chat, we'll try to talk about it during this news segment. Otherwise, we're just going to jump right into our news stories that we have in the outline. And first story, Witcher 3 adding a big new feature 10 years after launch. Now, first off, the fact that there were 3 Witcher news stories for Witcher 3 that I could have picked from this week is crazy. This is a 10-year-old game. One was like it made $850 million since launch. And then there's this one where they're adding this new feature. And this is something that PC people had all along for Witcher 3, which are the mods for the game. So now these mods are coming to Xbox and PlayStation and not just PC for Witcher 3. And I think this is kind of a big deal. I can't remember any other console game that supported PC style mods.
I think Skyrim did eventually, didn't it? Or am I
I
wrong?
don't think on console. No, it did on definitely
Okay.
on PC, but I
There's a
don't.
couple games that have done it, but not many.
Yeah. So and this is 10 years after its launch. When people have been modding it on PC for 9 years. So
Feels longer than 10 years, or is it just me? Feels like it's been like maybe 2013 or something. I guess it didn't launch with Xbox One though.
no, yeah,
It
because
was
I
after
remember
that.
Tiff played this back in the day because she had played Witcher 2, and then we saw Witcher 3 at E3, and then she's like, I need that game. And then she picked up and she put a good probably 50, 70 hours into it. So,
That seems like
uh,
a TIFF game.
yeah, yes, yeah. Definitely a Tiff style game. So yeah, but I just think it's cool that this is coming to consoles, and maybe it'll be a sign of things to come in the future. But if CD Projekt Red can go back 10 years later and add this, other companies can do this right out of the gate. So
I played the hell out of Witcher 3. I loved that game. So good. Loved it. But I won't go back because I've already played it. I have too many other things to play. There's no way. It was
you
cool
got
though.
nothing to play. So yeah, just 2 games.
You don't, yeah. You have 2 games to play
Yep,
every night.
yep. That's
The
how I
same
roll.
ones.
Yep. I don't need anything new. Why would I want something new? Do you
I don't
go
know,
do you go
man.
sleep with a new woman every night? No. You like your wife. Yeah.
Oh,
Put you on
point
the
taken.
I put
Good
you on the
idea.
spot
That
there,
was a
huh?
weird it was a weird tangent all of a sudden out of nowhere.
Yeah, see, I put a different spin on games for you. See what I did there? Now you're thinking about it, you're like,
Uh,
am I cheating on another game because I'm playing a different game? Or am I?
I'm like
See?
that GIF where it's like the person doing the math problem and all the stuff flying around the
Oh,
screen.
all
It's
the
like,
numbers and the formulas and yes, yeah.
yes.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, cool.
Next story.
Summer Game Fest is coming up this weekend, right? Oh yeah, we got Summer Game Fest coming up. It's going to be kicked off on the 6th with the I guess what let me just do a real quick recap. Summer Game Fest live kicks off around 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time with the Summer Game Fest live, followed up with a whole bunch of other crap that is going to be shown,
This
such
is a really
as
helpful way to pitch this news story. A whole bunch of other crap will be shown.
uh, if
Summer
I
Game Time Live's happening when Summer Game Time Live's happening with
well,
Summer
if
Game
you
Time
if you read through the
Live.
whole list, you're going to be sitting here for an hour. This show's already running fucking long. But let's go down the list. All right, Day with the Devs SGF edition at 7 o'clock p.m. Wholesome Direct 2025 at 12 p.m. on the 7th. We got Future Game Show coming in at 4 p.m. on the 7th. We got Green Game Showcase at 4 p.m. on the 7th. We got Xbox Game Showcase 2025 on the 8th at 1 o'clock p.m. And then we got the Outer Worlds 2 Direct, which comes directly after the Xbox Game Show Showcase. And then we got PC Gaming Show coming in at 3 p.m. on July 8th. There you go. That's the real quick recap. There's a lot more
Oh,
shows in between. But you can delve into that over at our friends over at Games Radar Plus if you want.
you made it seem like that was going to be a lot longer than it was.
That's because I blasted it, baby. I ran through it like a
Oh,
champ.
I see what
That
you
was like
did.
an auctioneer or
Um,
something.
Really, the
Speed
only
ran it.
I'm probably going to myself. I'm gonna probably pick. I'm gonna probably try to get the Xbox Game Showcase 2025, and then follow that up with the Outer Worlds deep dive. There should be something I think in the future game show that I probably want to watch also. So those are the big three that I'm gonna be hitting. Anything you guys looking forward to it?
Well, I felt like last year it was just kind of a big commercial. So I don't
It's
know.
always a big commercial.
It's just year after year, it just bugs me more and more. So I don't know. I'm definitely gonna be watching the Xbox showcase at like what 1 or noon or something Central. I don't remember when it is on Sunday,
Central is
but
a fake time.
other you guys are watching TV too late. Like 8 p.m. you start watching TV. You're not even done till like midnight, probably. It's
Yeah.
crazy, man. Anyway, yeah,
7
I'll watch the
Central and
Xbox
Mountain.
showcase,
Yep.
but I'll watch the Xbox showcase, but otherwise, I don't know. I'll catch what I can, but it's kind of a busy weekend. It's a bunch of busy weekends in a row, so
All
we'll
right,
see what
so
I can do.
It was 2 years ago they shadow dropped what was the game that they dropped after this?
The music game.
Yeah, music beat saber-esque type game. It was a rhythm game
where you hit people on the beat.
Yeah.
We always forget this name.
We didn't get a shadow drop last year. Do you think they bring the shadow drop back this year with some kind of surprise game?
I mean, something so.
Maybe to pull some energy away from the Nintendo Switch 2 launch. Maybe something that they could drop to say, "Oh shit, there's a game."
I think they will, just because there's a lot of games that don't have release dates right now. Yeah. They're just waiting.
Plus, the Nintendo Switch 2 is like dropping an Etch-a-Sketch. Come on, like.
Hey, it's got Fortnite. It's got Fortnite. Come on.
I can play Doom on my watch.
Your phone has Fortnite.
Yeah. This thing, I'm still going to buy one at some point, but I'm going to say it's a glorified Etch-a-Sketch.
He has to make a room in his closet for it.
He's got to figure out what other place he wants to collect dust at.
Yeah. Well, it pulls dust away from the good stuff. It just clicks in there. Yes.
All right, next story. Let's move on.
All right. Borderlands 4 boss says he didn't mean to trigger people with comments on the price. I don't know if everyone remembers. I'm sure you do. Randy Pitchford, like a week ago or so, said when people said, "Hey, is it going to be Borderlands 4 going to be $80?" And he said, I think it will be. And he said, that real fans will find a way to buy Borderlands 4 if it costs that much. Real fans. So that was very much a Don Matrick statement. If you can't afford the Xbox One, I have another console for you called the Xbox 360. It's that sort of thing where it's like, come on, man, read the room. No, I mean, even if that's what you think, you don't say that. So he came back and he apologized, I guess. I don't know.
Is that what we would call that?
No, I would say it's a press statement that they put his name on. But
okay, yeah.
Said, I always work the intent to hope that a customer always feels they got the better end of the deal, no matter what they pay, he said. With his real fans comment, Pitchford said he was responding to a person who suggested Borderlands 4 would fail at $80. Well, yeah, that's exactly what you said.
Yeah, and he also he spun it with like, I worked at an ice cream store as a kid, and I managed to buy some game that was $80 or whatever. Like, he tried to spin it like, yeah, that's what people do. Is if you're a real fan of the game, you just step up and find the money.
But here's the thing, though. I mean, there's a lot of different things with this. One was the buying power is a lot different now than it was back then. Yes, the price, maybe games were $80 back then, and maybe they would be with inflation $150 now. But back then, it was there was more buying. It's hard to explain, but it
back
didn't
then,
seem like
a 21-year-old could buy a house.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
exactly.
Yeah,
and I mean, from his perspective, he's probably gotten this comment thrown at him a few times, like about the $80 price. And these guys, these CEOs are like, what? These fucking games have been $60 for the last 20 years. He's like, they're worth more than fucking $20. He's taking the back of his head. And finally, that little slip of the fucking brain. And he's like, fuck you.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, back then, if you're talking about people talking about the past, back then there weren't that many games. There'd be like there'd be like a huge game like every 4 months or something, and that's it. And so you could spend 4 months saving up for $80 and pay it, and that was fine. But now it's like there's a huge game every month, and if you don't have the money for it, you're gonna have to decide what to buy, and you'd rather play everything if you can, but you can't afford it. So people get upset with with that stuff. But I think that the issue right now is that games were, like you mentioned, $60 for like 20 years, and then they jumped to 70 just recently. Yep. And instead of saying it's 70 for another 10 years, they're like, no, 3 years later, we're going up to 80 now. Yep. And then in 3 more years, it's going to be 90, and then it's going to be 100. And so that's what people are worried about.
Next year, it's going to be 140 for Grand Theft Auto.
Right.
Yep.
So I don't think people are so much worried about an extra $10 here and there. It's, this is now going to be the base price for everything, times however many games I buy a year, So yeah, so that's
Yeah, but like you said, he did not read the room.
He did not read the room.
He doubled down on it. So, yes.
Even if it's true, and even if you're thinking it, you don't say that. Come on, man.
Yep. But it's not the first time Randy Pitchford did something weird. So, yeah, remember he brought that USB stick full of squirting porn to medieval times? No. You don't recall this story. This is literally Randy Pitchford's like, I have this USB stick of squirter porn, and then he lost it at medieval times in his booth when they were having dinner, and sent a what do you call them? Like maybe a co-op or an intern or whatever back to medieval times to recover this USB key that he left there. Yeah. This was a story that I think Code
we covered it.
We covered it, yes.
But how did people know that that's what's on there? Someone found it?
Yes, they found it. Yes, and
then Zincher went and they said, "Oh yeah, someone's already looked at this thing and lost."
No, well, how do we know it's yours? What's on it?
But Randy Pitchford at that dinner that night with whoever he was with, which we don't know, was bragging that that's what was on the USB stick.
I don't know how that could go worse.
Yeah, it's not really a work friendly thing, and it's not really a. Like, even if you're, like, out with your wife and another couple, you're not like, hey, this USB stick is full of squirting porn.
And
like,
then you lose it?
Yeah, and then you lose it. Yes.
Medieval times gets a little crazy with all the
instead of just leaving it and saying, calling it a loss, you go back
you send a person to go get it. One of your co-ops or interns or a page or whatever you want to call them. Sent someone to go recover it. Yes.
That's just a comedy of errors. Like,
yes.
Everything had to line up perfectly for that,
including just even making that USB stick. Like without that step, without that step, none of this other problems happened. So yeah, but yes, that was a story. I guess Selden said he was on the show at the time. So yeah, we definitely covered it on this show. So. You must have missed that episode, Shadow.
I must have, but I listened to everything.
It might have been Yant time at that point. So
it could have been, yeah. But it should have been in this week's What the Fuck story.
Yes. It probably was. Maybe I was like in the bathroom and it was playing or something. I don't know.
But yeah,
because
yeah, I don't think you'd be the first person that blacked out parts of the show purposely out of their brain. So
that could be.
All
right, next story.
Next story. Microsoft reportedly pauses development on Xbox handheld. Now, this shouldn't surprise anyone. The need for an Xbox handheld at this point keeps diminishing. I have my ROG Ally. We know that there's the new ROG Ally that even has the Xbox button on it.
So they're not talking about that one. They're talking about like their
this
own.
is their own brand,
their own standalone type one.
Yes,
but they're still doing the ROG Ally with the Xbox.
Yes, yeah, with the Xbox button.
Okay, well then who cares?
That's my point. Like, does anyone need this device anymore? And maybe that's part of why they're pausing development on this, because the need for it becomes less and less as they improve their cloud gaming and game streaming and all this stuff. I as much as at one point in time I wanted an Xbox handheld so bad, but I just don't think it's necessary anymore. Like, you can even download, like, onto the ROG Ally, you can download the PC version of these games. Like, I have Call of Duty, the Xbox PC version downloaded on my ROG Ally, and I can play it on there. Granted, it's a small ass screen, and it's really hard to dial in a headshot, but I could also plug it in via HDMI to a TV at a hotel or whatever and play on a screen with a device that I'm holding in my hand, and I'm not cloud streaming. I'm literally playing it off that device. So I don't see the need for this Xbox handheld. And yeah, maybe pausing this development was a good thing just to see how this plays out, especially with a ROG Ally that has an Xbox button. Not like you need that. Like, I can play all of these games on mine without having a dedicated Xbox button. So
I
Yeah,
think that one in particular boots directly into the Microsoft, the Xbox stuff, from what I heard. Is that not right?
I don't know. Mine boots right into Armory Crate, which is kind of Asus's dashboard, and then from there you can pick Xbox game streaming, Steam, all of those things, and then it
Okay.
takes you right into it from there. So it's
Okay.
what is it? One extra step removed. It's not terribly hard to figure out. Like it comes preloaded with all those things. So the second you boot it up, you see like you have a Steam choice, you have an Xbox game streaming choice, you have uh, all that stuff right on your desktop to go. It's not like it boots in. I can get it into Windows and have all the icons and all that, but it boots to a user friendly large icon experience versus a Windows experience. So
yeah. And you think about it, if Microsoft isn't going full bore and getting the highest specs on these units, if they're going to do, go a little bit below the ROG Ally or something, then they start going up against all the phones, and
yep.
a new phone comes out every fucking year for both platforms.
Yeah.
So it's like, why would they put out a technology that could possibly be potentially obsolete within a year or 2 years because the advancement in phone technology is vastly faster paced than a console version.
Yeah, my phone is $1,300. My ROG Ally was $800. So look at it that way.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, if it was any lower specs than the ROG Ally, then no one would buy it anyway because they'd just go,
That's
"Well, I'll
true
just get a
too,
ROG
yeah.
Ally." So then it's a complete loss, and they're just sitting around just to have it, which doesn't make any sense.
So instead of taking a loss on hardware, because we know that everybody loses on hardware, why not sell subscription fees or proprietary fees to these other people that are making the games or the phone companies that are using these things, opening up your marketplace with no cost initially lost, and just sell your games that way? I don't blame them for getting out of it.
Free money, man.
No, yeah. I think this was a good move on their part, especially with the competition out there. So
yeah, I don't think I've heard anybody ever say to me, I need an Xbox handheld necessarily. I mean, maybe back like 15 years ago.
Yeah, that
would be cool.
Yes,
the 360 was out, and you're like, I wish I could take this with me and play it on the go. And now you can. Yes. You have a laptop, you have a tablet, you have an Ally, you have a phone, whatever. A lot of the stuff you can play wherever you are. You can, if you have the internet.
PlayStation had a handheld, right? But you had to be in your house and connected to your PlayStation 5. So it's like they probably looked at that also and said, "This is not what we want."
The Vita had its own discs. Like
the Vita, you could stream. You could stream to the Vita.
Yeah, but
from your PlayStation.
But the Vita also had its own little micro CD things. We had a Vita for a while.
You're thinking of the other one, the one before that.
Before
yes.
I can't think of the name of it either. But we had both
PSP.
of those. So
PSP.
PSP, yes. So we had both the PSP and the Vita. And then Tiff finally gave up on the Vita and just sold them on eBay. So
yeah, same here. I couldn't play on such a small thing. The screen looked great. I had the OLED version. It looked great, but it was so small. My hands were just huge, so I just couldn't. Wasn't worth it.
Got big hands. Big hands. Yeah,
but it's true. I can't play 3DS stuff very long. It's just my hands cramp up.
That's what Shadow's known for, ladies and gentlemen, is big hands.
You can only play with big things. Little things.
True story. Can you palm a basketball? Can you palm a basketball? Because I can.
I don't know if I can. I've never tried.
Used to, but have no need for that talent anymore. So. All right, I'm going on to the next story.
Nice, good call.
Do it.
Kojima Productions is working on an anime adaptation of Death Stranding. Looks like Kojima is going to work with A24 on a live action film adaptation of Death Stranding.
Aren't A24 the horror people?
Yeah.
I mean, the Death Stranding's got a little bit of horror. It's got that dark aspect of the whole game and everything like that going on with the.
Not all their movies are horror, but a lot of them are.
But I mean,
I don't know. Blumhouse.
Are they gonna get Nemus or whatever the hell? What's his name?
Norman Reedus.
Norman Reedus.
I like
Yeah,
how you mixed his first and last
name.
name and
Neatus.
Yeah. But are they going to get him to act in it because he's the main protagonist in the game, right? So
yes,
this would be like if filming a superheroes movie without having the actual superheroes voice or likeness in it.
Oh, you mean like that Avengers game they released?
Do you guys did you guys watch The Righteous Gemstones?
No. But
Okay.
I've heard it's great.
There was a word in there that made me think of what you just said, and I was gonna say it because it's funny, but you won't get it. Move on. I mean, go ahead.
I have not seen it yet, but that's on Max, right?
Yeah, it's really good. The whole series. It's over now, so you can
what
watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So I mean, as of right now, I mean they started talking about this back in December of 2023, I think, is when they first started talking about this. But maybe it's taking steps forward. But I mean, Death Stranding 2 is on the doorstep of coming out. I mean, I guess they did it with Last of Us. They went back to Last of Us and made a live action of that after 2 came out. So
yeah.
You know what? I would watch it. I would definitely subscribe or download it or watch it some way when this comes out.
So are you an anime guy, Sultan?
My sons are both in anime, so I'm sitting on the couch as they're watching some anime sometimes, so I do watch a little bit of it. So
you're not always like, what's this dumb shit? Why the fuck why are you watching that? Why are you wasting your time?
Make a lot of fun of a lot of them, but some of them are pretty good.
So. Maybe that's my parenting style. Yeah.
Did you watch or did you play Death Stranding, son?
I did. I played all the way through that. I love that game.
You did?
Yeah.
I played it. I remember playing it during COVID because I'd bought it previously, and then it was just one of those ones where I said, I'm out of all the other games currently to play and can't leave the house, and I'm just gonna try this. And I played that for a solid like month every night and I don't know, I could probably get about 3/4 of the way through, maybe halfway, somewhere in there. I have no idea of a way to know how far I was through that game because there is almost no direction in that game. It's just sort of like wander the landscape and with a baby and come across invisible monsters, and eventually, if you kill anything, it will explode and the whole world will die. So you can't kill anything. It was cool, but also I had no idea what I was doing. And if I went back to it today, I have no idea.
No, you'd have to start over from.
I'd have to start over, which is like I don't like that in games. I like to have a little thing that comes up and goes, "Here's your current objective. Go do that." It does not have that.
That's not what Hideo Kojima does.
I guess
he just expects you to know.
I don't know. So I don't know what the ending was, but I have my theories on what the ending will be. But then with that theory, I go, but how could they make a second one then? I don't understand. So maybe I was wrong.
Time to go back and play Shadow.
I don't know, man. It was so. I know you love it, Selden, but it's such. Maybe you can give me advice if I do try to play it. Maybe I'll ask you advice.
Build roads, build vehicles.
Yeah, I built a lot of roads.
I
got a vehicle so I could drive. I did that. I got far enough where I could drive. I was building roads, but I don't remember what to do in that game.
It's like, because it's a Stranding game. Like this is an entire series of games, a genre, Stranding games. So
I remember you guys talking about it being a Stranding game before I was on here, and it is. It's a Stranding game.
It'll leave you stranded.
Yeah.
All right.
Last story.
The Cyberpunk 2077 sequel finally makes it to pre-production, which means it'll be out in the year 2035.
That could be.
Oh, it's almost 2077 by the time it comes out.
I love CD Projekt Red, but they need to do something with their team. I don't know. They need to get a bigger team. I don't want their team to like be crunching, but man, they take their sweet ass time to put out games. So I don't know. We'll see, but they still got to work on Witcher 4, and the Witcher series still has another season coming, right? With the new guy, which has not come out yet.
Yes, with the Hemsworth
guy, which I couldn't remember if it had come out yet or not. That's how long it's been. Because I remember when they were talking about it, people were concerned about him being in it instead of Cavill, and I thought it came out, but no, it's still not
Nope,
out.
still
So
not
I don't know
in.
what's up with
Nope.
that.
I thought I just heard today that he sold his house in California for $7.5 million. He's moving back to the East Coast because he's done with the West Coast.
Hemsworth?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay. I couldn't care less. I
I'm
I
just
I don't
yeah.
I kind
I
of went,
did
I'm
read
not
that
gonna watch
article
that.
today, but I'm just trying to throw it in there to shade the fact that he's still being cast in this.
Who knows? Maybe he isn't. When Cavill said he was leaving, I said, well, okay, well then I'm done because he's the Witcher in this, and it
And
can't just be a
he's
new
a
guy.
gamer. Like I watched a video of Henry Cavill building his gaming PC. Like
Yeah,
he live streamed it
yeah.
of him
How do
getting
you
every
quit The
component.
Witcher? I don't understand.
He I don't think he quit The Witcher. I think The Witcher quit him,
Really?
or that they tried to veer too far from the source material that it became not what he wanted to do. Like he
Mm.
loved The Witcher, and as soon as they were like, "Oh, we're gonna do this," he was like, "Well, that's not The Witcher." And you guys gave me creative control to make sure, and they were like, "Nope, this is what we're doing," and that's kind of what broke them. Because he did have
Oh,
that.
he loved he loved the lore of it. He wanted
Yeah,
to do what
he
the
read all the
books
books,
did.
he played the
Yeah.
games, and yeah. So as soon as they
I-
started to veer from what was correct, he was like, "No, let's do this." And they're like, "No, this is what we're doing." And he's like, "Okay, then I'm out." So
okay.
had to be a difficult decision for him, but at the same
Yeah.
time, for someone that loves the source material, what if they were like, "Yeah, Superman is now going to be a sheep fucker," and then you're like, "No, he's not a sheep fucker. That's not what he does. He saves people and does good stuff, and he's allergic to kryptonite." And they're like, "No, he's going to be a sheep fucker in this next movie." And
He's allergic to gluten.
so yeah, so I can see why he stood on his principles, but it it was a hell of a role to give up because he literally was Geralt of Rivia.
Yeah. He
He
did a good. I wasn't sure
personified
about
that
it at
role.
first. At first I wasn't sure because I'm like, Geralt is way older than him in the game. He's way older, and he didn't seem old, and but he did a good job. And now I think maybe they've kind of because it was so big with the toss a coin to your Witcher that
The
song, and everybody's it
Valley
was
of
huge, and
Plenty.
then
Yeah.
it kind of died down, and then he left, and they had gotten the new guy, and then you heard nothing about it. So. Maybe it'll just go away. I don't know. But anyway, so Witcher 4 is coming out, and they got to work on that and this, and I mean they can walk and chew gum at the same time. They have different teams, but I don't, I don't know. It's amazing to me how Cyberpunk 2077, that whole like journey, man. I
Oh,
remember being
of
so.
shit
It took
launch.
forever and ever to come out, and then it finally did. It was broken as hell, and then I returned it and got my money back for it. That's how
As did
bad it
I.
was.
Eh,
I
And then
did
I
too.
eventually bought it for $10 on disc, and I have that disc still.
And I will tell you that, well, I'm gonna have to word this carefully. A friend of mine was in the betas of Cyberpunk 2077, and and the game was
Dang.
entirely different than the game that got released. And it wasn't even the same format of game. And then that came out, and it's no wonder why um, it was poorly received. So much so that my friend that was in the beta and kept getting,
Was that Schmerich Mullen? Was
oh
that
yeah,
that
my buddy
guy?
Schmerich, yeah,
Schmerich Mullen, yeah.
my buddy Schmerich. So he kept getting updates to the beta, and it was awesome, and it was the greatest game ever. And then all of a sudden, one day, the updater client removed the game from Schmerich's hard drive, and then it went radio silent for 6 months, and then the game came out, and it was a completely different game. So, but that's the problem when your buddy Schmerich's in like a beta and they're constantly pushing updates, and then the one update uninstalls the game, and then Schmerich was like, "Hey, Derek, what the fuck? It got removed." And I was like, "I don't know, Schmerich. Why'd you pick this name? It sounds so absurd."
Well, in CD Projekt Red's defense, though, is they so believe in this title and this IP.
Oh, absolutely.
That,
yeah.
Most companies would have folded. And if they didn't fold, they would have at least stopped the game and buried it and never talked about it again. Well, they actually went full bore, took the game back, reworked it, redid it, republished it, sent it back out, and now they're making a second one come out. So it's like,
and that's what I was trying to say is that, like, the whole journey is like, I don't know how it went from that to just like they just stuck with it and they fixed it and they made it great. And then I eventually played it and it was so good. And then
they tacked an expansion on top of it.
And they got an expansion, which I haven't bought yet because it keeps not being on sale enough for me. But I will eventually play that. And I think it's just amazing, like how they just stuck to it. And they're like, no, we're going to fix this and we're going to give everybody their money back. And then when it's good, we'll put it back out and let them rebuy it if they want to. And that's how I think that things should work. If
these guys are hardcore with their source material, like even when we went and saw Witcher 3 multiple years at E3, and granted, their booth, they always served us beer and everything else, but they had all of the Witcher, they had all the Witcher books there, and all of their guys that talked to us were like well versed in the entire Witcher series. It's not like they were like, "Oh, give us a synopsis and we'll make a game." Like, these guys all read these books. They've been reading these books for years and years and years, and they talked about Geralt like he was a family member. It was bizarre, but and meanwhile I'm like, "Oh yeah, Witcher. Yeah, I know those games. Geralt of Rivia." But they always
he has vampire
Geralt. I was like, "Man, isn't it Geralt? Like, that's what you even say in the game." But that's the Americanized version of the game. But yeah, those guys are hardcore in their source material. They put a ton of effort in their games. And in this case of Cyberpunk 2077, they were just like, "Yeah, so we fucked up. All right, rewind, take your money back, and buy it again when we're done." And it seems to work well. Like, I have a buddy at work that just discovered the game along with the expansion, and he's like, "Oh my God, this is the greatest game ever." And I was like, "Oh, you should have been here 5 years ago."
No, you shouldn't. So yeah, Project Orion, it's out there. It's started, and maybe we'll see it in 10 years. Who knows?
You never know. All right. Well, if any of news stories you want us to talk about next week or at any other time in the future, give us a call, 773-527-2961. Email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. You can also comment on this episode thread in the Tool to Play homepage. And sponsors, Tito's Vodka. If anyone else wants to sponsor us, give us a call, 773-527-2961, or email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. And you just negotiate a deal with us and we'll pimp your shit on the show. Twitter us up. You can find everything Tool to Play related, twitter.com/tool-to-play. Everything podcast related at twitter.com/still_dot_game. Facebook the fuck out of us, facebook.com/tool-to-play. We also have a YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/tool-to-play. That is our on-demand library for all of our Tool to Play content. Whether it's this show, Hits Quick Hits, Thick and Thin with LB and Duty, Tiff's immature interviews like she and I talked about yesterday. Selden had I know, like, we joke about this a lot, but Selden pioneered probably the first video show ever filmed on the Kinect. I don't believe there is another one. So if someone's out there and you want to take his claim to fame, drop it in our comments. But I think Selden, like, literally pioneered this shit. So all of these shows are out there on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/tool-to-play. Please rate and review the podcast. Give us 5 stars in iTunes or Selden's Commie Store or
Spotify.
Spotify or any
Amazon.
of these, Amazon, any of these places. 5 stars. And please, like, the stars help, but writing a little review to go with it makes a world of difference for how your review is weighted. Even if your review is A, that's still going to be better than nothing. So even just die on your keyboard and just make sure you hit enter at the end, and it'll help us out.
Also, go into the Apple Store, load up our podcast on all the devices in the Apple Store and play them, and then walk out.
Oh, that's another option. Yes, yeah. We have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/still_got_game. That's one of the many places we stream some Monday nights. So go to twitch.tv/still_got_game. We have a Discord channel. That's discord.me/stillgotgame. I repeat, that's discord.me/stillgotgame. You can chat with Shadow 24/7. You can chat with me Mondays. You can chat with Selden whenever he's out of his bunker. You can chat with Tiff sometimes. And you can chat with other fans of the show, like Blue Steel, all the time. He's got nothing better to do. He's like a retiree. He's just sitting around. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Blue Steel. I'm chatting with you. Yeah. I don't know if that's actually Blue Steel's voice, but that's the voice I gave him. He sounds different on Xbox Live, but that's how I assume his real voice is. Sorry, Blue. It was for comedic purposes. So,
also get to Tao of Day. He's on there.
Oh yeah, Tao of Day's on there all the time too. Yep. Yeah. All right, so that wraps up all that. So why don't we jump on over into our per person stuff? Selden, you got anything to pimp this week?
You can find me and all my socials on Linktree. Just look up in Linktree, look up Selden007. You'll find me there, and all the links to all my socials there. As of right now, I don't have anything I'm really pimping right now. Life is crazy, and I'm just busy. So I don't have, unfortunately, anything prepared for pimping. Sorry.
That's okay.
Except my new podcast. It's Dad Jokes with Selden007. Coming soon.
You don't even know what this was like. We saw the episode just prior to recording here. It was a train wreck would be a compliment.
I almost left the podcast.
So much fun.
Yes.
How about you, Shadow? What you got?
I got my Linktree. It's Brian S. Emerick. That's Brian with an I. EMERICK. And all my stuff's on there. And yeah, it's just Child's Play. Extra Life's on there. I don't have anything particular to pimp this month except for just recognizing Pride Month. So I always try to show support there where I can. Got my rainbow flag out front of my house 24/7, 365. Ally with that. So yeah, that's kind of all I got this month, but it's a big month for that. How about you, Derek?
Well, all my stuff, all the show stuff is at Linktree/Derek Nolan. That's linktr.ee/Derek Nolan. As always, all that shit's in there. Whether it's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all the show stuff. I did leave in, just because of this little overlap episode, I left in my Jimmy Fund, my Susan G. Komen, and the American Cancer Society, but it is Pride Month, like Brian said. I'm a proud dad of a gay daughter who's engaged to get married this November. So
congratulations!
Oh, thanks. So all of this is very hits close to home here. So I also linked on there the Trevor Project, which is a charity for the goal is to deal with suicidal folks that have whether they're gay or lesbian or trans or whatever. It's to try to step in and stop that. Also Outright International, which is another
slight pause for Derek coughing.
Yes. I had to cough there. Outright International, which is another great organization worldwide for the LGBTQ plus community, as well as the Human Rights Campaign. And they're all linked in there. So feel free to donate. Go ahead. And if you have some extra shekels, throw them their way. But yeah, this is Pride Month. And yeah.
Awesome.
Just throw some support.
Yeah.
All right. I want to remind you all, you can join us an occasional Monday night live
Sunday.
or a Sunday at this point. Live at 8 p.m.
Semi-monthly.
or quarterly. Live at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific at youtube.com/tool2play, facebook.com/tool2play, twitch.tv/still_got_game, and kick.com/stillgotgame. And on that, why don't we wrap this? I fucking recorded 2 days in a row episode up. I am Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
I am Chris Selden 007 Selden.
I'm Shadow.
That's what we call a callback, ladies and gentlemen.